Hello, cats and kittens. MamaCatGamer here, and you will see that we have a new addition on our screen. This is Muriel in the cat cam below my cam. She is asleep right now, so you won't see her doing a whole lot of anything except being adorable. So I'm playing around with the cat cam. We may change configuration things later on. I don't know. Depends on what we do, but she may or may not do much of anything. She's a afternoon sleeper. So I'm hoping that everything sounds good. And that all is going well with the sound. I'm not hearing myself on YouTube at all. Sure, that's... Oh, now I'm hearing myself. Okay. I was just behind. Okay. Let's see how everything's going on Twitch. Hey.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, I can hear myself. Good. Alright. Now that we've got the sound check going, we're good to go. Oh, I need to adjust my sound settings on game so you can actually hear what's going on there. Alright. If you want to do, let's go through the Otter. I can't talk today. We're going to go through the Otter quest that is with the Make It Rain campaign because it's really cute. You earn this adorable little tuxedo-clad otter and a backpack. So you have to come to Ul'dah, and you can see the Aetheryte plaza is straight ahead in front of us. All you have to do is, you know, when you come off the Aetheryte, just go straight to Allier here. And, Alright, now, you Otter be there. Final Fantasy XIV loves its puns. Allier locks eyes with you in a cordial yet slightly desperate plea for help. This quest is available for a limited time only. I think we have maybe 2 more weeks of it. So grab it up soon. Right, and you can see the Senior Otter and Senior Otter backpack are the quest rewards. So we said hello. Greetings, sir. Pray forgive my presumption, but you are an adventurer, yes? You've the unmistakable air of their worldly sort. Courageous, diligent, hardworking, and generous with your time, I should hope. I am Allier, and I serve as one of the many attendants at the Manderville Gold Saucer. The famed Make It Rain campaign is currently underway, and we are come to Ul'dah to promote the festivities. If we wish to spread word of it more thoroughly, however, we will require extra support, namely yours, if you are so inclined. Yeah, we are. We're always out to help. Wonderful, it's a great help to us, truly. Pray meet us at the Gold Court, and I shall give a more detailed account of the circumstances. I believe our collaborators are scheduled to perform there shortly. Speak with Allier at the Gold Court. So, the fastest way to get there is the Gladiators Guild. There's somebody here named Kitten Maxing. Oh, speaking of which, I really need to adjust my character configuration with the nameplates there. I don't want to accidentally dox anyone. see odd onlooker. Why, it's adorable and clever as well. Concerned citizen. Or convinced citizen. Such sleek, silky fur. But if it's not quite a quikern and not quite a rat, what is it exactly? Here's Allier. Ah, you've arrived. Ere I begin with explanations, I think it best to let you first experience this year's main attraction. People of Ulda, lend me your ears. Allow me to present my dear otter friends come all the way from the Far East. These are the Globetrotter Otters, this year's ambassadors to the Gold Saucer. We bid you join us for the ongoing Make It Rain campaign, where merriment abounds and dreams are made manifest with mounds of MGP. Whether you wish to play the Cactpot, race chocobos, or try your hand at Mahjong, there is fun for one and all at the Manderville Gold Saucer. Pip, pip, pip. Odd onlooker says, Globetrotter otters, she said? I've not seen their like before, but now I feel as though I've been missing out my whole life. Who knew that we would be missing otters? And if we go to the Gold Saucer, we may encounter more of those furry little gentlemen. I suppose it has been a while since my last visit. The Auri performer here is Mistress Ajisai. She and her otter companions hail from the far eastern nation of Nangsha. I am told Lord Manderville owed her people a great debt. 'Twas he who invited her troupe to lead our campaign this year, an apt choice, for they dazzle and delight passers-by with their performances. While promotional efforts here at the Gold Court are all well and good, we haven't the hands to cover as much ground as we initially envisioned. As such, I thought it prudent to seek out a trustworthy adventurer who could guide one of the otters around town. Woo! All right. Yay! Get my pointer out of the cutscene there. Now this must be our assistant. We are most delighted to meet you, Gav. I'm Ajisai, and this here is my friend Usosuke. I don't know if I said that right. Isn't this grand, Usosuke? Gav here's taking you to roam the city. Purr. I have no idea what sound otters make. If anybody has an idea, let me know. Bip, bip, bip. You say he seems the trustworthy sort? My, that's rather high praise coming from you, and quite rare besides. Oh no, I've been approved by an otter. You understand what he's saying, or wait, you speak otter? I'm sorry, say that again. I was distracted by your adorable otter. I can scarcely blame you. Their round little eyes, their precious waggly tails, their damp fuzzy heads, it's all so wondrous. You see, for generations my home village has lived in harmony with otters. Having spent my entire life with them, I am well accustomed to their speech and mannerisms. Alia says, in fact, Mistress Ajisai is an avid conservationist who has dedicated her life to protecting the otters and their habitats. A portion of the proceeds from this year's campaign will go towards Naxian otter preservation efforts. That they will, Ajisai says. It is precisely why I wish to bring as many patrons as possible to the saucer. Their support and yours may save countless otters, so your cooperation would be most appreciated. You can count on me. For promotional purposes, we have prepared you a uniform and a special backpack, not unlike the ones Mistress Ajisai and I are wearing. When you are ready, just say the word and I shall present you with the raiments you require. The backpack has a little hat on it. Hello, Slyfox. Thank you for the subscription very much. And Chelly, hi. I saw the questions there. Yeah, you're here for the cat shenanigans and cat jokes. Well, you should be able to see Muriel on the cat cam there. She's right below my camera. I think it's still on. Yeah, it's still on. She's asleep though. I know she's adorable. She's a little pudgy bugger. You pick up the quest, Chelly, in you go to the Aetherite Plaza in Ul'dah and you just go straight ahead and you speak to Allier. He's this dude. Now I'm in the Gold Court where the quest continues, which is easy to access from the Gladiators Guild. But this is what he looks like here. I can get a view of him. So he's in a white tuxedo there. And you just literally, when you go from the Aetherite Plaza in Ul'dah, you just literally go straight ahead. Are you ready then? Excellent. Once you have donned your uniform and backpack, pray accompany Master Usosuke as he makes his rounds of the Steps of Thal. Usosuke is possessed of a keen instinct for locating crowds. But given the limits of his vocabulary, we'd like for you to speak in his stead and inform patrons of the Gold Saucer's myriad wonders. Allier and I have a meeting to attend, but once you have finished, we mean to canvass the Steps of Nald with the rest of the Globetrotter Otters in search of potential patrons. May the Kami of Fortune see fit to bless us both. Now, be a good little otter for Gav, Usosuke. Yep. Do keep a sharp eye on Master Usosuke, my friend. He's trying to hand us the equipment. What transformation entails, certain duties require you to transform into creatures or other people, restricting available actions. These transformations only last a limited time, indicated by the transfiguration status effect. Should the transfiguration status effect expire, or you stray too far from the objective, you'll be returned to your original form. You may return to the starting location at any time to refresh the duration of the transfiguration status. If it has already expired, it will be granted anew. Alright. So this is our otter outfit here. You can see he's got a cute little top hat on top of that backpack. That's adorable. Oh my god, the little feet move on the back of the backpack. I didn't see that before. Oh my god. Naksha and its neighbors were ravaged by the conflict between the Empire and the Resistance. My village was no exception. But fate has smiled upon us. You see, when Lord Godbert traveled across the star in his youth to hone his craft, he abided in our village for a time. Moved by the plight that befell my home, he sought to strike a deal with that would benefit us all. His earnest wish to repay my people's hospitality rekindled the fires of hope in our hearts. That's kind of a cool little tidbit of lore for Godbert Manderville there. Now, let's see. Rendezvous with Usosuke while in uniform. He is over by Sapphire Avenue Exchange, so let's go over there. Unable to execute the command while transformed. Okay, so we gotta hoof it. Like, all your skills are down, so you can't even go faster. I'm like looking at my map to see where I have to turn. There he is. I know, it's cute, isn't it? Delighted daughter says, "Oh my, what a precious little darling you are. Where did you come from?" Alright. Pip, pip, pip. Oh, mother, look, isn't he sweet? I think he's trying to tell us something. So Gav's gonna explain. I see, so they're having a festival at the Gold Saucer? Will there be more adorable animals like him wandering about? Yep. There's plenty of chocobos to meet at the racetrack. Their mascot's a lovable, huggable sabotender. Or there's a special strategy game just for mammoths and minions. Let's see. Their mascot's a lovable, huggable sabotender. Which is a cactus. That sounds like a dream come true. I'd love to see it all for myself. Can we go to the Gold Saucer, Mother dearest? Can we? Marveling Mother says, we'll need to consult your father about it. He did recently bring up the subject of taking more family outings, though, so I doubt he'll refuse. Going, yay! Thank you so much for finding us. If I see you at the Gold Saucer, I'd love to spend more time with you. Bip, 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 says the otter. See you later. Bip, bip. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Usosuke skitters off in search of prospective patrons. Follow him to help spread word of the Make It Rain campaign. Yeah, I can see the Twitch chat faster than I can the YouTube one. Oh, there you go. Hey, oh yeah, follow me. I'll get you to the next spot. If you're done. I wasn't sure if you were done. I wasn't sure if you were done talking to her or not. All right, let's go back this way. We're going to go around. Here he is. Oh my god, this outfit. Fashion-minded fellow. Oh lordy. He's obviously taken to the Byzantine custom of wearing as many colors as possible. What a masterfully woven tuxedo. Dapper enough to charm fashion aficionados, yet versatile enough to please even the sartorially challenged. Who are you, my diminutive debonair, and who are you wearing? Bip, 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 bipper. Why, I've not seen a classier creature in all my days. Have you some business with us? Ah, yes, the Make It Rain campaign. Lord Godbert always did have a penchant for dressing his mascots in dignified raiments. And I see you are dressed in some striking accoutrement as well. Tell me, as an aficionado of all things fashion, what might I gain from going to the Gold Saucer? You can exchange MGP for all manner of unique garments, or you can gain an appreciation for the Manderville aesthetic. Yeah, yes, we're gonna do that one. Is that right? I normally have no interest in gaudy amusement parks, but that sounds rather promising. Perhaps it's worth experiencing for myself. Thank you, my fuzzy little gent. You have given me a fresh new perspective on the saucer, and the tuxedo's absolutely flawless, I must say. Right, I know. He's gaudy, but doesn't realize what he's wearing is gaudy. I know, it's wild. Beep, 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 beep. Usosuke sets off once more in search of potential patrons. Follow him to his next destination. Hang on, I gotta move where my phone is at. I got a new keyboard, and then I had to get a new keyboard rest. Which means I had to, like, move some stuff around. There we go, now I can actually see. That would look great in the gaudy park. Usosuke sets off once more in search of potential patrons. Follow him to his next destination. Alright, where do we gotta go next? Gotta look on the map. I think it's gonna be fastest just go straight ahead here. And then go back to the Gold Court and then make a left turn. I mean, either way is about as short. I think we're back at the Gold Court here. And then we'll go and make a left turn here. Man with a cactuar earring. That outfit's awfully familiar. Purr, pip, 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 purr, pip, pip. Let me guess. Something's afoot at the Gold Saucer? Gav's going, how'd you know? I mean, the Cactuar t-shirt didn't give it away? Ah, so the Make It Rain campaign's returned, eh? Haven't been to the saucer in an age. But I really ought to change that. We owe much and more to Lord Godbert, after all. Was there something he helped you with, or you know Godbert Manderville personally? Let's do the second one. The three of us were Alamegan refugees, you see. The average Uldan didn't take so kindly to us, and despite our best efforts, our job prospects were slim to none. But Godbert Manderville changed all that, hired the three of us and more to help build his gold saucer. The man with the cactuar earring says, I don't suppose your companion's tuxedo was based on Senor Sabotender's, was it? Her? Senor Sabotender is a favorite of mine. Him and all he represents. Construction on the saucer started soon after the calamity. In those days, Dalamud's aftermath haunted every waking moment of our lives. And yet, despite it all, there was an old Lalafellan man among the workers who loved nothing more than to make us laugh. Every day, he'd think up some new dance or pose to lift our spirits. Some called him eccentric, but none could deny the joy he brought us. After our work was done and the saucer was built, old Godbert sought that man out and dubbed him the first Senor Sabotender. Even now, even if it's not the same man in the suit, I can't help but grin when he strikes his favorite pose. It ain't much of my business anymore, but keep on spreading that joy to others, just like our friend did. beep. Annie Road, didn't mean to talk your ear off. I'll let you get back to it. And don't you worry, we'll find time to visit the saucer. Brr. Beep, 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 beep. With his rounds complete, Usosuke strolls off in the direction of the Gold Court. It would be best to reconvene with him and report to Ajisai. Alright. Let me make sure we're going the right direction. Yep, now we just go straight back. Oh, wait, we got more otters here. Usosuke says, "Brr." Let's see what Alie has to say. A warm welcome back to you, Master Tia. Your timing is impeccable. Ajisai and I are just returned from the steppes of Nald. I dare say our exhibitions were a resounding success. Welcome back, Gav. I must extend my thanks to you once again for accompanying dear Usosuke. You ought to thank Gav as... Is something troubling you, Usosuke? Pip, 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 pip. You wish to learn Senor Sabotender's famous pose? What inspired this all of the sudden? Oh, I like her sandals. They're really cute. Did aught occur during your rounds? Gav's going to explain. I just says, so that is the way of it. I imagine Usosuke yearns to uplift others in the self-same spirit of Senor Sabotender. Beep beep. I believe that's a yes. Alia says, a noble cause. That, and one that can feasibly be arranged. I shall speak with Lord Godbert and request the tutelage of our current Senor Sabotender. Our patronage has thrived thanks in part to his efforts. After all, Master Usosuke's continued endeavors will be a boon to guests and staff alike. Beep beep brr. Ajisai says, isn't that wonderful, Usosuke? And the other otters all agree. We may never have made this discovery without your assistance, Gav. I'm in your debt. Beep beep. Jumping. Gav's going, I'm all for it. Alia says, well then, I believe it's high time we made our way to the saucer. Pray, meet us there at your earliest convenient, Master Tia. Your reward awaits. Yeah, I really like her outfit too. I've got MamaCatGamer, who I renamed Glaria Grenhar because the name MamaCatGamer kept just ruining my immersion into the story. So I had to rename her. Alright, they conveniently ported us up to the gold saucer. Here we are, here's Alie. Ah, there you are. Allow me to express my thanks again for spending time with Master Usosuke. He and his fellow globetrotter otters took to their posing lessons most diligently. Our current Senor Sabotender was quite impressed with the results, just as I'm sure our clientele will be. What's more, I am pleased to report that this year's promotional campaign is proving incredibly profitable. It pays to make It pays to take the gold saucer directly to Ul'dah, so to speak, and you were an invaluable asset to our success. In recognition of these efforts, Lord Godbert has expressed interest in personally presenting you with your reward. Allow me to take you to him. Oh. Otters are jumping. They're dancing. I'm not sure if that outfit is available in the Mog station or not. There's Godbert in all his sartorial splendor. Yeah, welcome, my friend, to the Gold Saucer. Allier tells me you have done us a great service, promoting our campaign with aplomb. As you can see, the saucer is teeming with satisfied guests. And so, in the spirit of innovation with which I pride my craft, 'tis my great privilege to bestow upon you my newest masterpiece. Behold! I present to you Senor Otter, a mammoth crafted in the likeness of our friend Usosuke. This miniature globetrotter and the backpack we entrusted to you earlier are yours to keep. Guys going, aw, thanks. As Allier may have mentioned, I have pledged to invest a percentage of our profits into otter preservation efforts, and we are off to a most heartening start. On behalf of all involved, you have my heartfelt gratitude. The Gold Saucer is, and shall ever be, a place of merriment for all who enter, which is why I should hope we can expect your patronage as well. Until then, know that we eagerly await your next visit. All right. Golden Globetrotter. Right. I have to look at this poll that I did. So I put a poll up asking, which job should I pick up next? And because I got Summoner and Scholar by dual leveling. I got Summoner to level 100, so he needs another new job. And so I made the options Machinist, Dancer, and Pictomancer. And it's tied 50-50. So I think I'll let the poll go a little longer. Let me see if I can find it for you again. Let me get the link for y'all. I can do that easily. Yeah, here I go. I am still learning this live streaming thing. There's so much to learn, right? I mean, it took me like several hours yesterday to set up the cat cam, getting working, and set up an OBS and all that. To hide your weapon, you can open up your character panel, and there is a little button right underneath your paper doll. All right, I think I've got this MamaCatGamer server set up enough to actually send out invites now. So I'm going to put the link to that Discord. This is not to pull you away from your free companies, by the way, because I don't want to do that. I'm already in a free company. I don't plan on leaving at all because I love it. And this is not designed to do that. I'm not setting up a free company in game. But it's just a place to get together and chat, okay? You will have to verify and answer a few questions like, you know, have you read the rules, right? Do you promise to be a cool cat? If you're already verified on Discord, I don't think it'll make you do that again. Anyway, we do that because it's an anti-spam and anti-bot feature. So Chelly, see, I opened up my character panel. The default key is C as in Charlie. And there's some buttons, 6 buttons at the bottom underneath this paper doll. And to hide and display main or offhand weapons, it's the first button. Okay. So you can show it or not show it. Right. And then, actually that does that in game too. But you know, see, the scythe is like huge, and this is one of the smaller ones. So I usually hide it. And then you can hide or display headgear. I think I have his covered up with the Emperor's new hat, which is like makes it invisible. What if you want to be a hot cat? You can be as hot as you want. All right, since we're here, I'm gonna play. If you haven't ever been to the Gold Saucer before, definitely go. If this quest brought you to the Gold Saucer, make sure you go over to the Aetherite here and attune to it, okay? So you want to attune to the Aetherite, and then I'm going to come back because I want to do the mini cactpot. The Make It Rain campaign, I think, gives you 25% more MGP. So I'm going to talk to the mini cactpot broker, purchase a mini cactpot ticket. If you have not ever been to the Gold Saucer before, go through the little tutorial because you'll get some free MGP out of it. All right, come on. Drawing number 4672. The mini cactpot is here. Care to try your luck with a ticket, sir? 10 MGP is required to purchase a ticket. Yes. All right. So you have to pick 3, right? I usually do them in a line like that, and then I click one more. All right, so 7 and 3 plus 4 is 14. So I would only get 54 MGP. I'm not liking the odds like that. So this line I can see I can't get a 1, 2, 3 or a 7, 8, 9. Right? So I've got this option or I've got this option. Right? And I think I'm feeling it this way. Oh, I missed it. If I'd gone diagonal, I would have gotten like the 10,000. Oh, I'm sad. I chose poorly. So I usually do like a diagonal. I don't know why I do it. That's just the way I do it. We can't get anything here. So we can't... There's no way we can get a 7, 8, 9 or a 1, 2, 3. The best we could get is 23. I'm gonna go this way. Oh, no, that was not a great choice either. Let's see if we get anything good. Let's see, 9 and 5 is 14, so that would give us 54 MGP. Bleh. I can't get a 1, 2, 3 at all because that's blocks, but I can possibly get a 7, 8, 9, so I'm gonna go that route. All right. Seeing if I needed to extract any materia or anything like that. Everything's repaired. All right. I got junk to get rid of, man. I'm gonna go over to the tap keeper here and get rid of all this stuff. Grade 7 materia is like pretty worthless on the market board. Probably selling for the shop price, so I don't even bother checking out that, wasting my time. So I also don't waste time trying to sell piety materia on the market board either. Let's see. This is all Verberite stuff that I got the other day. Oh, I got a Mother Porksy card. Ooh, I don't have that. I gotta consume that one. These green ones I'm gonna turn in for seals. The blue items I got doing unsynced extreme trials that I had in my Wondrous Tales. And, we did the Akafai Amphitheater Extreme. That's always fun. See if you can beat her before she steps on you or not. Some people love being stepped on by her. I think it's kind of fun. All right, if you ever want to buy prizes with your MGP, you've got the Modern Aesthetic Saleswoman. So you can buy some new hairstyles. Okay. I think I bought those already. No, I did not. I'm going to pick them up. So now I have Adventure and Rainmaker unlocked if I want some new hairstyles. This will give you some outfits here. So you can look those up. Let's see, Prize Exchange 2 gives you some more of those. I look through all the tabs to see if there's anything else on the other tabs. And I think these give you some... that looks kind of cool. You like that sort of... Ooh, it glows. I did not know that. The paintbrush if you're a Pictomancer. Armor... accessories. So that's the grade 3 stuff. And then you could come up here to the prize claim. There's some more here. Prize exchange, like weapons. You can get a Senor Sabotender fans. Let's try those on. Oh, they glow, my gosh. Let's see. Senor Sabotender rapier. Let's see what that looks like. Got a little glowy feature to it, too. See, I don't think they have... No, I don't think they have a scythe here. Or do they? No. No Senor Sabotender scythe. Oh, you can see if you pick up the samurai weapon, the sheath has the cactus at the end there. Armory, accessories, others. Let's see, what else? Gear. If you have ever wanted the Bunny Chief Bustier, this is where you can come get it. If you want the bunny ears, bunny tights, bunny pumps, bunny chief pumps. Those are actually kind of cute. Riviera dress or doublet. Actually not bad looking. Blade tunic. Oasis tunic. Oasis doublet. Whoop. That looks pretty good. You can get a curl mask. Succubus horns, if you want to do that. Archdemon horns. A lot of people come here and get those for Christmas. Or not Christmas, duh. Halloween. Ishgardian gown. This is not a bad long gown. And you can change the color on it. Far Eastern smock. Ishgardian thigh boots. This is one of my favorite pieces here. Because it's one of the new gear pieces that you can... Few gear pieces you can get early on in the game if you like boots that look really, really good. You can get t-shirts here. Right, if you like Moogle stuff. And you can get the midriff bearing one. And the t-shirt, so if you like the t-shirt look, that's fine. Boss of the Beast, what is that? Ooh, that's like long fingernails there. I think you could change the color of the fingernails too. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. So if you like long fingernails, you can get that. You know, I might do that for the monk weapon. You can see, you know, having a Makote with his claws out, that would be kind of cool. Oh. Shelly, when you do the Akafa amphitheater trial, there's a point where everybody's frozen and she comes out and she like stomps on you with her long heels, or its high heels, and people refer to that as being stepped on by her because she picks one person only. I don't know if you've done that one yet either. That's level 50. If you've never gotten through ARR, the main story, you may not have done it yet, because I think that comes either near the very end or right after. I know for sure it's in the patch quest between ARR and Heavensward. Okay. Now that it's now that we've finished that fun off, I need to talk to these guys. I completed some quests here, so I need to speak with the academic, because we did Academia Anadur, and then I finished Super Seismic, so I need to speak with Reen. So we're going to go back to Norvrant in the Crystarium. So we're going to go to the Macarensis angle. Every time I see that name, I think of the Macarena song. It's like I'm dating myself now. That thing's like, what, 20 years old? Ah, our studious visitor returns. What did you think of our experiments? Were your questions answered in a satisfactory manner? The scholars had turned into monsters. The experiments had escaped. I never thought of La Habrea as an academic. Oh my, yes. There are few who can match his knowledge and expertise in the field of phantom creation. You passed through the words of La Habrea, did you not? I imagine you found the research material there to be of particular interest considering the purpose of your visit. Was there aught else which piqued your curiosity? I shall endeavor to provide you with answers to the best of my ability. The scholars had turned into monsters, experiments had escaped. Let's do the first one. What you witnessed would not have been transformation magics. 'Tis more likely you observed the results of our research into advanced creation. Shape-changing is a temporary effect at best. Creation, on the other hand, converts one's life energies into ether, which is then expended to bring a well-constructed concept into solid reality. By combining the ether of many individuals, we can theoretically create entities of ever greater complexity and grandeur, the methodology of which is the focus of our current experiments. Was there aught else which piqued your curiosity? I shall endeavor to provide you with answers to the best of my ability. The experiments had escaped. Escaped? I should think not. The Academia Anator boasts the most secure facilities and research protocols of any institution on the star. Well, any facility can be breached. Ah, but they were scheduled to conduct research on those samples we captured from across the sea. Is it possible they were even more potent than we anticipated? Yet, even as such were the case, one cannot dismiss the resourcefulness of our scholars, not to mention the presence of the esteemed La Habrea. Yes, I am certain they will soon have the situation well in hand. You needn't worry your young mind about such things, and do not be discouraged. 'Tis a pity your inquiries were disrupted this time, but there will be other opportunities to visit. Was there aught else which piqued your curiosity? I shall endeavor to provide you with answers to the best of my ability. Nope, nothing more to ask. No? Nothing? Well, as long as your thirst for knowledge has been slaked, then we should consider your visitation time well spent. As for the creature you suspect has broken free, rest assured that our officials will be taking up the thread of your investigation. You are certain it was not within the Academia grounds? If by some miracle Archaeotania has gained its freedom, then what has become of the researchers tasked to contain it? Oh, idle musings, nothing more. Was there not an acquaintance awaiting news of your progress? Best not keep them in the dark. It seems the Academia Anadur has no further information for you regarding the mystery beast. Return to the derelicts and make your report to the overwrought Ondo. Go over to Yilmore. You have returned. What of the ancients? How do we soothe their rancor? You mean the beast escaped? It was not released to torment us? A terrible creation indeed, if it can slip the bonds of the ancients. And yet it is relief to know that we did not slight the old ones, that it was not our deeds which summoned forth this fiend. I will swim back to the cups and consult my comrades. We must think on a strategy. Though huge in size, the beast is swift, elusive. My kin would be glad to have your aid in seeking its tracks. Finless ones do best when there is no water, and the sea has yet to reclaim our home. Come to the ocean floor, land dweller. Come and hunt the beast. Oh, she's being so cute. So pretty. Okay, speak with the guard here. Oh, that's in Thavner. Okay. We'll be back in Thavner again, so I can let that one ride for a little bit. Where do you want us to go? You want us to go back to the Ondo Cubs? Let's go back to the Ondo Cups, see if he's got anything else for us down there. I do not see any quests here. Alright, let's go back and speak with Reen. Go to Armoring. Well, if you open up your U panel, your duty finder, and you look in Trials, Chelly, it will be under Trials: A Realm Reborn, and you'll have Akafa Amphitheater. And then if you look in the high end of Trials, it'll say Akafa Amphitheater Extreme there. there was some fast way of getting over there, but I guess not. Unless I'm missing it somehow. Oh, there it is. Sky Slipper. I think you have to talk to the minstrel in the Rising Stones area in Mordona, and that'll unlock the extreme version. And it'll probably unlock the extreme versions for everything else you did, too. Oh, look at this. The crystal is now an aqua blue. Representing, I think, the element we unlocked with him. Zuriange, I have to say. Well fought, Gav. Well fought indeed. That thou wert able to triumph over this avatar of primordial rage is testament to thy puissance. So, testament to your power that you were able to overcome this avatar of, you know, primordial rage. Welcome back. You must be exhausted. For a creature made of rock, he was a lot more agile than I was expecting. I wonder, was the Titan of your world a tough opponent too? You never stood a chance against me. Yes, if I'd put one foot wrong, I would have fallen to my doom. Sure. Let's be honest with her, at least. So, all it would have taken is a momentary lapse of concentration? I don't like the sound of that. But more importantly, you defeated another elemental being, which means we're a step closer to reclaiming the empty. I can't wait to see how much of a difference we've made this time. Oh, if we're going to do anything, we take critical. Oh, now that we've finished that one, it's turned orange. Did we really do all of this? Riange says, aye, 'twould appear that balance has returned to the element of earth, and yet... The transformation hath affected only the immediate vicinity, whereas the lands beyond this lake doth remain unchanged. 'Tis passing strange indeed. So, transformation has affected only their immediate area, and the lands beyond the lake are haven't been changed, and that's very odd to be sure. Green says, "Did we do something wrong?" Riange says, "Though this falleth short of the outcome I had envisioned, 'tis plain our efforts were not in vain." So, okay, it wasn't the answer I was looking for, but, you know, we obviously had some effect. Mayhap this localized phenomenon is the result of an intersection of ethereal currents. Okay. Maybe this localized oddity is the result of intersecting ethereal currents. Therefore, it is reasonable to assume that similar locations in the empty hath undergone comparable alterations. So it's reasonable to assume that similar locations in the empty have, you know, been changed also. And the ether will spread out from these points to cover the rest of... Uh-oh. Green, says Thangrid. That's a concerning thing. All right, let's see what Thancred and Urianger have to say. Are you all right? Perhaps asserting her will over Eden hath taken its toll. Think? Maybe. Reen appears to have been overcome by exhaustion. The next piece of the puzzle is the title. So we have water and rock here. It's nothing. Thancred says, that didn't look like nothing to me. You'd better lie down for a while. No, really, I'm fine. Anyway, we've still got work to do. Urianger says, nay, Thancred hath the right of it. 'Twould be unwise to exert thyself overmuch. Okay, no, Thancred's right. It'd be foolish to overdo it. I appreciate your concern, but I do wish you'd stop fussing. Urianger says, and this is like the hubris of youth, right? You know, Reen, thou knowest not the strain thou dost place on thyself. It's like, you don't know how much strain you're putting on yourself. Though the elements of water and earth have been restored, continued exposure to the empty, stagnant ether may yet sap thee of thy remaining strength. Okay, so that even though the elements of water and earth have been restored, continued exposure to the empty, stagnant ether it's going to, steal away your remaining strength. He says, now that you mention it, I've been feeling a bit out of sorts ever since we got here. I'll be there in a moment. I should probably get away from the empty and rest for a while. Urianger says, pray, do so. Meanwhile, I shall remain here. The restoration of the first two elements hath produced unexpected results, and I require time to analyze our findings. It said, please do so. Meanwhile, I'll remain here, and restoring the first two elements have produced, some unexpected results, and I need time to analyze the findings. However, I must ask thee to refrain from discussing our work in the empty, even with our closest comrades. Why? I thought they'd welcome the news. And Urianger says, and indeed they shall, once we have more to show for our efforts. Nevertheless, this mission is one of surpassing danger. I am loath to place our dearest friends at risk unless absolutely necessary. So, just the same, this mission is, extremely dangerous. And I don't want to put our dearest friends at risk unless we absolutely have to. Reen says, you have their best interests at heart, I'm sure. But to be perfectly honest, I'd prefer not to keep secrets from people that I trust with my life. I don't want to make a habit of this, but I'll do as you ask. Thancred says, it seems to me that Reen isn't the only one who would benefit from a change of scenery. Our Sleeping Beauty would likely fare better in more hospitable surroundings. We'll need to have our associates from the Crystarium organize a safe place for her to stay. If you and Gav could go on ahead and have a word with them in Mord's soup, we'll catch up with you once Urianger has finished whatever it is he needs to do. Even Thancred's going, I have no idea what's going on there. Thancred's concerned thinking. Urianger says, perhaps thou too shouldst accompany her on the return journey. I dare say she would be glad of thy presence. Perhaps, Thancred, you should go with her too. She'd certainly be glad for your presence. Thancred says, no, not this time. She's come such a long way since we first met, and I worry that relying on me too much will only hold her back. We won't be staying in the First forever. The time will come for Reen and I to part ways, and for her to follow her own path. I know you understand this too, Urianger. I see you trying to pass on as much of your knowledge as possible while you still can, and to her credit, she's actually taking most of it in. Urianger says, Bean is possessed of a natural affinity for etherology, unlike some who shall remain unnamed. Reen has a natural affinity for etherology, unlike some who will remain unnamed. Thancred says, a natural affinity for staying awake during your lectures, more like. Though, come to think of it, she doesn't really take after me at all. Rianger says, however, like thee, she is predisposed to brooding in silence in lieu of voicing her concerns. So, however, like you, she likes to brood in silence instead of voicing her concerns. And Thancred goes, well, you know... Says the master of keeping his cards close to his heart. Or close to his chest. Anyway, Gav, you'd better take the sky slipper with Reen. It's true that she's been through a lot lately, but so have you. We'll need you ready for the challenges that lie ahead, so go on and get some rest. Rianger says, we shall await news of thy safe arrival in Amarang. Oh, do they have anything else? Thancred says, we'll have to decide whether it's worth posting Crystarium guards to watch over Eden while we're gone. Rianger says, as there is little risk of our camp being ransacked, it may be left unattended in our absence. Alright. Let's go back to Amarang. Oh, it's right up the stairs that way. Okay. Oh, there she is. I see. Princess, it seems like you were all having quite a serious discussion. I hope I haven't given you any cause for concern. No, they were just, you know, smack-talking each other as usual. Well, if you say so, I probably shouldn't stay in the empty any longer than necessary, though. So, do you want to take first shift piloting, or shall I? Oof, I'm glad I had you there to keep me company. I've no idea how I would have passed the time otherwise. Now that we're here, I need to find our contact from the Crystarium. But before that, I was hoping I could have a word with you. Something's been on my mind. This might not be the best place for it, though. Those creatures over there look a bit hungry. When I first spoke to Thancred and Urianger about what I'd sensed in the empty, part of me wished we could have just left it alone. I guess I was scared of what we'd find. But now that we've found Eden, I know that I made the right choice. And if I'd given in to my fear, I probably would have spent the rest of my life wondering what might have been. From now on, whenever I hear that voice inside telling me to run away, to hide, I won't listen. That's not who I am anymore. Even so, all the courage in the world is not going to help me decide what we should do with that girl when she wakes up. Do you remember what she said right before she passed out? Why am I here? What's happening? What if she's being controlled or forced to act against her will? Whatever the case, it's clear that she's not a monster. She's a person like you or me. Obviously, she knows something about Eden, and we need all the information we can get. But more than that, I just want to talk to her, to find out who she is and if there's anything we can do to help her. On the other hand, we mustn't forget that she's already attacked us once. What's to say she won't try it again when she wakes up? If she keeps us from reclaiming the empty, it will be all my fault. It's no good. I can't make up my mind. What do you think we should do, Gav? If Alfino were here, he'd talk things through with her, or even Emmett Selk had his reasons. We should at least hear her out, or there's not much we can do until she's awake. Well, Gav's kind of the practical sort. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't be trying to decide her fate before we even know who she is. In the meantime, we'll have to be patient and hope that she comes around soon. Until then, I'll try to concentrate on the here and now. Speaking of which, I still need to see to Urianger's errands. The people we're on our way to meet lent us the Sky Slipper and most of the apparatus we've been using, and since we've been sworn to secrecy, I assume the same applies to them and their colleagues. Anyway, once that's over with, we can find a place to relax. Speak with Reen and Mordsuk. Oh, Parity is back there. Alright, I need to go grab a drink because my mouth is like super dry. So, I will be right back. Alright, we are back. What? Oh, she got down. I got a Stream Deck and got a mute and unmute button set up on it, so hopefully we won't hear the popping of the mute button on the mic itself. Now that we're here, allow me to introduce you to two members of our inner circle, or whatever you want to call it. That's Google, who's interested in trading for any relics we find in the empty. Apparently he mostly deals in exotic weapons and whatnot, but he's agreed to keep us supplied with whatever else we can't get from the Crystarium. Now the ones we came to meet should be around here somewhere. Ah, Reen, what a relief it is to see you returned unharmed from your expedition. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. We were gone a bit longer than we expected. Gav, I'd like you to meet Luri. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As representative of the Settlement Council, I'm here to oversee the delivery of equipment deemed necessary to your mission. I'll be on hand to provide any assistance you may require. Gav's going, yeah, well met. Actually, there's something we'd like you to take care of. Hang on. Actually, there's something we'd like you to take care of. It's probably best not to talk about it in the middle of the market, though. Google? He's like a kobold, I think. I'll take it from here, Gav. You should get some rest. But before you go, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. We still have a long road ahead of us, but if we give it our all, there's nothing we can't handle. Oh, what should we take? I'll take tenacity. I'm gonna sell them on them. I'm gonna sell them in the marketplace anyway. Or not on the market board, I'm gonna just sell it to a vendor. Ooh, cutscene. I think it says, I see. Riange says, though it is mere supposition, it would behoove us to proceed with caution. Moreover, I would refrain from discussing the matter with Reen and Gav until we know more. Oh, Riange loves his secrets, doesn't he? Though I'm just guessing here, it's essential that we proceed with caution. On top of that, I don't think we should discuss the matter with Reen and Gav until we know more. Ingrid says, well, I appreciate you telling me, even if it's too soon to be sure. I'm the one watching over her, after all. The Oracle of Darkness. Pray it is not true. Yelfort has quest for us. Yelfort has arrived in Mordsuk bearing pertinent information. Oh, there you are. So my allergies have been crazy the last few weeks. Probably because we had that weekend where we had no AC and we had to have the windows wide open because it was so freaking hot that weekend. And we had fans blowing the entire time and everything, so our house is probably full of allergens right now. It's kind of still settling out of the air. Alfred says, there you are. I'm part of the team helping with the, highly classified and very, very secret thing. The fact of the matter is, I've come to inform you of a rather interesting development. It's about the girl who was brought back from the empty. She's finally woken up, you see. Gav's going, what? Reen says, yeah, Alfred, and Gav, too. We heard the news from Thancred. Is it true? Why, yes, it most certainly is. Apparently, her name is Gaia. She claims to be a free citizen of Yulmore, though she remembers nothing of the events leading up to her attack on Eden. She's lost her memory? Parts of it, at the very least. We also cannot be sure whether she's telling the truth or if it's merely a ruse. She's yet to display any hostility, which is encouraging, I suppose. Thancred's with her now, is he? Yes, he's taken her to Yulmore, mainly to verify that what she's told us so far. Quiz the locals, that sort of thing. After that, the plan is to come back here, though they're taking rather longer than I'd anticipated. I do hope nothing is amiss. Uh-oh. Good grief, are you always this slow? That's quite the outfit. At this rate, it'll be dark again before we know it. The night sky returning is all well and good, but it does make each day seem awfully short. And are you still dragging your heels back there? At least act as if you've got a purpose, would you? Thancred says, now look here, I'm not one of your servants. Why don't you try carrying your own luggage for a change? Oh my god. Reen says, Thancred, you're back. She's telling me about starting the car because we haven't had enough go wrong at our house lately. My daughter had trouble starting the car this afternoon trying to get it going, so I don't know if we need to check some coolants or if the starter's going out or, whatever, so. But I told her, I had to tell her, don't go anywhere because you don't want to get stuck trying to get home, so. Thancred says, you lot are a sight for sore eyes. Yes, even you, Urianger. They love to tease back and forth. Gaia and I have just finished shipping her personal effects from Yulmore. I'm glad we could finally meet. Properly, I mean. So, did you learn anything useful? Other than where she lives, not an awful lot. Her supposed neighbors barely knew the first thing about her. Hell, she barely knows the first thing about herself. Her recollection of her life in Yulmore is patchy at best. But she seems convinced that she'll regain her memory if she accompanies us, and so she invited herself to join our merry band. And for her first act, she ordered me to carry her luggage. If you insist on standing around talking, might I suggest finding a place to sit down first? My feet are killing me. Well, in those heels, yes, I imagine they are. Thancred's going, whatever, lady. Then perhaps you should have chosen more sensible footwear. Still, it's not such a bad idea, shall we? Thancred's not taking any of her lip. Dr. Lurie. Greetings, Gav. How might I be of service? Talk about Reen's first report. Information regarding the work being carried out in the empty is treated with the utmost secrecy. To avoid it falling into the wrong hands, we limit the keeping of records and such to the bare minimum. Having said that, it does become rather difficult to keep track of the supplies that we deliver, so I have asked Reen to deliver reports on your activities. The first such report will cover the time from your arrival in the empty to your battle with Titan. Though truth be told, I cannot help feeling that this was rather a large burden to place on Reen. No doubt she has enough on her plate as it is. Lurie, I did what you asked. Oh, Gav, just the person I was hoping to see. Lurie says, oh, is that so? Well, before we go any further, please allow me to take receipt of the report. I hope you do not think it impertinent of me to ask, but what business might you have with Gav? Actually, I've brought something to show you. Thancred and Urianger brought this back from Eden's core. If you look closely, you can see images of your battles in the empty. Urianger seems to think they are Eden's memories captured in crystal form. Would you like to see? Yeah. As you gaze into the crystal, visions of previous struggles race through your mind with an intensity that far exceeds anything you have experienced. Like, ooh. Yuri says, what's wrong? It was quite the experience there. Different from how you remember it? That's odd. What could cause Eden's memories to become so distorted? Reen says, well, we've been extracting and realigning enormous amounts of ether. Maybe that affected the crystal in some way? Even so, I expect that we can find a use for this extraordinary artifact. Reen says, I think I have an idea, though it shows images of things that never actually happened. Studying them may help us to prepare for the challenges we'll face in the future. Yep. Speaking of studying, Urianger's given me a few tomes to read through before our next expedition. I'd best get back to it, but I'll be seeing you again soon. Ah, this unlocks the Savage Raid portion. Ask about Eden. Gaia's vague memories of her life in Yulmore led us to her former residence. Unfortunately, no one in the neighboring area had any recollection of her. It seems she has very little in the way of meaningful contact with those outside of her immediate family. Having said that, Yulmore has undergone a considerable upheaval of late, so perhaps with time we may yet uncover some information regarding Gaia's past. I, for one, find it hard to believe someone as outspoken as Gaia would go unnoticed. Even for a Yulmoran, she strikes me as particularly abrasive. Forgive me, I very nearly spoke out of turn. Abrasive is a nice word. for what my thoughts about her are. All right, let's see what Reen and the boys have to say. I've got so many things I want to ask, but I probably shouldn't bombard her with questions. Ingrid says. Well, I've given you my early impressions of Gaia, but I would be interested in hearing your opinion. Go on and talk with her and see what you can make of her situation. Urianger says, amnesia. 'Tis troubling, and though not entirely unexpected. Reen says, so you don't remember anything at all? Not attacking us? Not falling unconscious? Urianger says, such selective amnesia would rightly raise suspicion within those of a cautious mind. So, selective amnesia would make anyone with a cautious mind suspicious. Yet, if she doth speak the truth, it would lend credence to my current hypothesis, though admittedly some further... So if she's telling the truth, it would make my current hypothesis seem more accurate. Oh, admittedly some further... Ingrid says, not now, Urianger. She's only just woken up. We don't want to bore her back to sleep. In any case, I prefer to follow my instincts, and they're telling me that Gaia means us no harm. After such deliberation, I thought it only right to let her know about our work in the empty as a sign of goodwill. After all, trust works both ways. So I would ask you, Gav, not to let your guard down just yet. We're standing right in front of her talking about her. Gaia says, so you're the one I'm supposed to have fought? Come to think of it, I recognize you from somewhere. Maybe I just have one of those faces, or so you should, considering you tried to kill me. Tyrius would have chosen the more diplomatic course, but Gav's not as diplomatic. Gaia says, well, if Thancred's version of effects is anything to go by, you weren't exactly holding back yourself. Still... It seems I didn't give you much of a choice but to defend yourself, so let's call it even. Not that I have any recollection of it. It's like remembering fragments of a dream, only to realize those things actually happened. Ugh. It's as though my whole life has been leading to this. Urianger says, thou speakest as though thou didst expect these events. You have deja vu. I guess you could say that. It's what the fairy tells me. I can't see it, but it's as though there's someone else inside me, and I can hear its voice in my head. It whispers to me and lets me use its power. Magic, I suppose you could call it. Not that I know much about that sort of thing. Urianger says, and this power alloweth thee to tear open the fabric betwixt realities, that thou mayest call forth the ether-starved denizens of what remaineth of the 13th? That's a hell of a long question, Urianger. And this power allows you to tear open the fabric between reality, that you are able to call forth the ether-starved resonance of what remains of the 13th shard? What? Was that supposed to mean something, or are you just spouting random words at me? Honestly, I don't know how you all put up with this. I've only just met him and his insufferable prattle is already giving me a headache. God, I still can't believe I'm having this conversation, and to think that I was flying about in a suit of armor waving a sword. That doesn't sound like me at all. Means there's someone else inside you. That's why I translate Riange for everybody. So we have, some vague idea of what he's actually saying. For those of us who don't speak early modern English. Someone else inside you, says Reen. Like Minfilia was inside me. Riange says, aye, the similarities cannot be ignored, though it is too early to say with certainty. Gaia may well be the Oracle of Darkness. Okay, the similarities, we can't ignore the similarities, though it's too early to say with, to be sure. It's too early to be sure. Gaia might just be the Oracle of Darkness. The Oracle of Darkness? What does this mean? Ingrid says, it means that you may have been right when you said she has something in common with Emmet Selk. Those who have been used as a living host by any Ascian have no recollection of events that occurred during their possession. This I know from personal experience. But Gaia seems to have some memories still, even if they're a little hazy. Moreover, she has remained in control of herself even when she heard the voice within, much like you and Minfilia. Riange adds, even though Reen was very much her own person, Minfilia's presence did exert a change upon her outward appearance, granting her hair and eyes a hue akin to that of our dear departed friend. Right? Even though Reen was very much definitely her own person, Minfilia's presence, caused a change in her outward appearance, giving her hair and eyes of the same color as our dear departed friend Minfilia. It is therefore not unthinkable that Gaia's raven locks may be a manifestation of the darkness which hath come to reside within her. So, her black hair may be a reflection of the presence inside her. Gaia says, but I was born like this, and my parents, they both had black hair too. Or at least I think they did. It's been so long since I saw them, I can't remember too well. But enough about me. You're Minfilia, aren't you? The Oracle of Light, who they were hosting in Yomor? Got some background noise going in. My daughter's putting something away in the closet here. Reen says, that's right, though imprisoning is a better word. They kept me locked away, and I didn't know much about Yomor and its people, or the rest of the world for that matter. Gaia says, I see, and how exactly did the Oracle of Light come to run with the Warrior of Darkness? Well, it all started when... And Reen explains the whole thing. Gaia says, yes, I still remember the day everyone went raving mad and Lord Vothri fled. Everything after that is still a blur, though. Ingrid said, from what Gaia's told me, she wasn't part of the mob that attacked us, but how was she able to resist Vothri's control? Riange says, mayhap 'twas the intervention of this fairy of whom she speaketh. Maybe it was the intervention of the thing that's inside her. Anchor says, as curious as that might be, we still don't know why she appeared out of nowhere as soon as Eden took flight. Gaia says, this is just a guess, but I'd say that the fairy reacted to it in some way, and for whatever reason made me go after it. Green says, yes, that seems like the only explanation. Gaia says, I don't know about you lot, but I've had enough nattering. I'm going back to Eden. Green says, what? But why? The fairy wanted something from Eden, and knowing that what that is will bring me a step closer to discovering exactly what has been living in my head all these years. Besides, my memories aren't going to restore themselves, and certainly not through idle chit-chat, so I'm going, and that's that. Okay. Gaia, wait! Thancred says, insufferable. Utterly insufferable, and yet we can't well leave her to her own devices. Come on. All right. Search for Gaia at the designated location. I wonder if anything's up top here, actually. Nope. She can't have gone that far, especially not in those heels, right? Get away from me, says Gaia. Uh-oh. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. And says, Gaia! Seems I've no choice. Okay. The two of them are going, what on God's green earth? What am I? Besides a spoiled brat? I don't know. Irene says, I'm not entirely sure what I just witnessed, but I'm glad she's unharmed. Sorry, guys. Urianger says, a most fascinating application of ethereal and manipulation. This is so Urianger. This doesn't say, okay, that was really cool. A most fascinating application of ethereal manipulation. The destructive blast did manifest a significant span of time after the initial casting. With sufficient mastery of such a technique, a second spell could be made to smite the target at precisely the same moment. While it would demand While it would demand exceptional ethereal control, its tactical potential cannot be denied. So, what's he saying there is... Okay, that's an exciting use of manipulation of ether. That blast had a significant period of time after the initial casting before it went off, and if we could master that technique, that second spell could be made to strike a target at precisely the same moment. Which is kind of, a useful thing, because you could set it and, run away like, lighting a fuse on a bomb, right? And while it would demand, tremendous control of ether, they can't deny its tactical potential. Powers befitting the Oracle of Darkness. When you fought Gaia, she opened void gates, yes? Back in the source, portals such as those were all too common, but tearing open the veil between the 1st and the 13th is a different matter entirely. We should be thankful that she's not of a mind to turn that power against us. For now. Yeah. What are you all gawping at? I don't mean to stare, but it's not every day I see magic like that. So this is the power of the fairy you spoke of? Ever since I was a child, it has whispered to me, telling me what to do. That's how I came to use its power. But there are things I can't even explain. Holes ripped in thin air, terrifying creatures crawling out, ghastly-looking blades and armor appearing out of nowhere. But worst of all is the dark energy that comes from inside. This power, it feels as though it's only flowing through me and never truly mine. And even when it answers my call, it always takes a few moments for the spells to work. Tancred says, so in summary, you don't have control over the magic. Well, it's not as if I ever tried to control it. I haven't made a habit of fighting wild beasts. He says, unfortunately, it's part and parcel of traveling through our meringue. And while I understand that you want answers, you're not going to find them unprepared as you are. But if your heart is set on this, then we'll help you. Tancred says, Reen, think about what you're saying. You're seriously considering taking Gaia to see Eden? There's no telling what might happen if she loses control again, so the safest option is for her to stay away until our work is done. Somewhere we can keep an eye on her. You must realize it's for her own good. Rianche says, I must concur with Tancred's assessment. At present, we know precious little of Gaia's origin, and less still of her powers. And I agree with Tancred's assessment, and right now we don't know anything about her origin and even less about her powers. If she is indeed the Oracle of Darkness, her presence may complicate a task already fraught with peril, placing our mission and her own well-being in jeopardy. In full knowledge of the risk. Dost thou still wish to pursue this course? Okay, if she is the Oracle of Darkness, her very presence might make a task that's already fraught with danger even more dangerous and place our mission and our own well-being in jeopardy. Now knowing these risks fully, do you still want to, do this? I do. Yeah, I wouldn't trust it either, no. It wasn't so long ago that I was living in isolation, being held against my will. Maybe the people keeping an eye on me thought that was for my own good, too. But if we just shut Gaia away for our own convenience, we're no better than Vothri and Ranjit. Gaia's going, I've learned that when someone is in need, we must reach out a helping hand, not push them away. Now it's my turn to do for Gaia what you've all done for me. Even knowing the danger that lies ahead, I won't choose the easy way out. This is the path I've chosen. Is that good enough for you? Ooh, smarty pants there. Well, I can't say fairer than that, says Thancred. What about you, Urianger? Urianger says, the light of thy spirit doth burn bright. Oh, your spirit burns bright. Mine apologies, my dear, but we felt it necessary to test thy resolve. Let it suffice to say thou hast left no room for doubt. Yep. There is not anything more clear than that. My apologies, my dear, but we needed to test your, how far you'd go, and we're sure that you left no room for doubt on that matter. Ingrid says, for what it's worth, Reen, I never doubted you, but make no mistake, the danger that Urianger and I spoke of is all too real. If you're prepared to go through with this, we'll be right there beside you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Guy says, I couldn't care less who I travel with, but if we're going to go, then let's get going already. There's supposed to be some sort of craft waiting at the southern watchtower, yes? Come along then and don't fall behind. Alright, let's go flying down there. Gaia says, why couldn't you leave this craft in Mordsuk instead of all the way out here? Ugh. Actually, don't bother explaining. Whatever the reason is, I'm sure it's something frightfully uninteresting. Let's be about it, shall we? Reen says, of course I'm worried about what may happen when Gaia gets close to Eden. We'll keep a close eye on her, make sure she's all right. Urianger says, though our circumstances hath changed, our mission most assuredly hath not. Restoring life to the empty remaineth our primary objective. Okay. Even though our circumstances have changed, our mission sure hasn't. And our primary objective is still to restore life to the empty. Ingrid! It might be a bit of a tight squeeze with 5 of us, but we'll manage. Perhaps Urianger can sit on top of our luggage. Hard for the empty, yes. Reen says, everything seems fine here as far as I can tell. As for Gaia, she hasn't started attacking anything yet, so I'll take that as a good sign. Ingrid says, as usual, we should keep our sojourn here as brief as possible. Let's attend to business quickly. Urianger says, I had hoped that during our absence, the rebalancing of ambient ether might work further change. Alas, 'twas not to be. So I had hoped while we were gone that the ambient ether rebalancing might, continue to change the area, and unfortunately it was not so. So there it is. Eden, where I'll find the answers I seek. Gaia, the bringer of the flood, the first sin eater. Would it lead me to my past or my future? What awaited on the path ahead, I couldn't say, but I had no choice but to take the first step. She's kind of thinking that in her head. we're going to pick up this one and then go back to the MSQ. I did not realize that turning in this quest would take so long. The Eden quests are the normal raid quests for not the normal raid quests. They're the normal raids for Shadowbringers. And I think, how many have we got done now? We've gotten 4 of them done. Gaia is lost in thought as she gazes towards the silent giant on the horizon. I know what it's like. It was the same for me. But I was lucky because Thancred freed me from Yulmore and I had a chance to see the world. More importantly, though, I met all kinds of people and they taught me not to live in another shadow, but to be myself. Maybe one day you'll have that chance too. Gaia says, said your piece, have you? One day? What's that supposed to mean? Says Gaia. Mean says, Gaia says, I don't know how the great Oracle of Light sees such things, but for someone like me, who's only known life in Yulmore, there was no tomorrow, there was no future, only the here and now. And while we waste time on these meaningless conversations, I feel each moment of my life slipping away. Time, it won't wait, not for me, not for anyone. I don't know how much longer I can hold on to who I am. And says, I'm sorry, Gaia. Gaia? It's probably not even my real name. It isn't? When Thancred asked me my name, I couldn't remember. That's when the fairy whispered to me, Gaia. But if you grew up in Yulmore, someone surely there must know who you are. Everyone I once knew has either disappeared or had been turned into sin-eaters. Those whose faces and names I still remember, that is. In the end, we found not a single person who so much as recognized me. As far as I can recall, I've never been the most sociable person, but still. That's a big burden to carry, right? Like, you go back and, like, nobody recognizes you, and you know you've had a life in that town, theoretically, with these people around. That might explain a little bit of her prickliness. Reen says, well, even if it's not your real name, I think Gaia sounds lovely. If you're happy with it, then that's what I'll call you. And if you're willing, instead of the Oracle of Light, please call me Reen. It's not the name I was born with. That's long forgotten now, but the one the people whom I consider family gave to me. Gaia says, is that so? Well, as much as I'd love to keep up this chatting, there's something that's bothering me. I thought the fairy would have reacted to Eden in some way, but so far nothing whatsoever. Yeah, I wouldn't, why do I think they're going to regret what they did? Yeah. Yeah, probably will bite him in the butt. Well, as much as I'd love to keep up this chatting, there's something that's bothering me. I thought the fairy would have reacted to Eden in some way, but so far, nothing whatsoever. From what I gather, it wasn't until Eden started moving that I appeared out of the blue. Perhaps if you were to actually try flying it somewhere, the fairy might break its silence. If you've got elements to restore, or whatever it was, why don't you hurry up and get it over with? You could say, at once, your ladyship, or you need to learn some manners. Gav's done. Gav is so done. Come on, I am done with this little snot. I says, and you need to stop wasting my time. She just gave it back. It's in his face. All right, everyone, I think we've talked for long enough. If you're ready, let's make our way to Eden. Gav's not entirely sure to what to make of something like her. Thankful says, Reen's little chat with Gaia reminded me that for all our obvious differences, there are things we have in common. I too grew up not knowing who my parents were. The day Louisoix gave me the surname Waters was one I'll never forget. Years later, it was under rather more desperate circumstances that I gave a certain young girl the name Infilia. Little did I know then that it would end up crossing time and space, taking on a meaning I could never have foreseen. It came to be passed on to one girl after another, binding them to a fate not their own. In a sense, it may be said that I chose not only one, but two names for Reen, but by whatever name she is called, she is truly her own person now. And as central to our lives as names are, I believe that it isn't the name itself, bonds it symbolizes that matter most. Guys, says, my memories, I think they're slowly coming back to me. My mother and father would constantly blather on about how the flood of light would return to end the world when we least expected it, and that we should live each day as though it was our last. They would often say, I wish this moment could last forever. That was until they were selected for ascension by Lord Vothri and were never to be seen again. Since I had no other relatives, or even any close friends to speak of, I was left alone in the world. A past like that hardly seems worth remembering, does it? Oh, that's sad. Because, you know, I won't spoil what Ascension is for those of you who haven't gone through Shadowbringers. But it's not quite what the name seems to make it out to be. I've done some reading about the land swallowed up by the flood, but it's no easy task to find locations with a dominant element. I'm glad we have Urianger to point us in the right direction. Urianger says, following the initial changes wrought by the release of water and earth, the empty hath displayed no further signs of alteration. Stability, some may call this and be satisfied, but in truth it is passivity. Passivity stemming from light's ever-pervasive presence. Okay, I gotta translate. If we are to break the status quo, we must needs employ a catalyst, a third element that shall rouse and stabilize those unleashed energies and activity. Alright. He said, after the initial changes that were brought about by releasing water and earth, the empty has displayed no further signs of changing. Stability, some might call this stability and be, satisfied, but actually it's passivity. Passivity coming from the light's ever-pervasive presence. If we are to break the status quo, we must needs employ a catalyst, the third element that shall rouse and stabilize those unleashed energies in activity. Okay, if we have to break this passiveness, basically, we have to employ some kind of catalyst, something that'll activate and stabilize the unleashed energies in activity. Therefore, I propose lightning. So the primal would be Ramu, yes? From what I've heard, he's a guardian of the forest and not particularly keen on conflict, but you've actually fought him, haven't you? He's half man, half beard, and another half beard for good measure. I spent most of the time chasing after orbs, with varying degrees of success. I think Gav would say he's half man, half beard, and another half beard for good measure. Yes, Thancred mentioned that he more closely resembles a person than a beast, unlike most other primals, and apparently he tends not to move about much. Thancred says, I'm glad to see our lessons have paid off. Well, it's like you say, if we want to call forth an accurate representation of the primal, I shall picture it in my mind as clearly as possible. At the very least, it's worth a try, but the rest is up to Gav. Guy's going, okay, are we gonna get to it? In order for this to work, we need to actually fly somewhere, yes? So rather than sitting in one spot while you exchange anecdotes, why don't you get this blasted thing moving first? Rian Jason, one must admit, the suggestion is not without merit. Reen, might I suggest the Gandalf Thunder Plains is our next location? Okay. Well, you have to admit the suggestion is decent. Reen, let's go to Gandalf Thunder Plains. These plains, it is writ, were perpetually blanketed in storm clouds, the only source of illumination, the ceaseless barrage of lightning. The ambient ether there lingereth there shall provide ideal conditions for the summoning. Okay. So, I've read that these plains are, forever covered in storm clouds, and the only source of light is the endless lightning strikes, so the ambient ether that lingers there should be ideal for summoning Ramuh. Then that's where we're heading. Come on, Eden. We've got a job to do. This should be as good a spot as any. All right, Gav. Whenever you're ready. Memories of Ramuh flash through your mind. Eden's verse Fulmination now accessible. Alright, Duty Finder has been updated with a new duty. We'll probably get that done sometime this week. Serene, all the lightning that's fallen here over the years has left the ground covered in craters. But don't worry, Eden will give you something more even to stand on. Urianger says, the area is saturated with lightning-aspected ether. This I am able to confirm. In addition to the primal, be thou wary of stray bolts that may occur as a result of our activity. Okay, I'm able to confirm the area is saturated with lightning-aspected ether, and in addition to the primal, be wary of lightning bolts that might occur as a result of our activity. Guys, I don't think I've ever been anywhere like this before, and I'm not sure I'd want to come back. Too dreary for my liking. Would be nice if our next destination is a little cheerier, but I suppose I can't exactly choose if I want answers. Thanks, Gaia. Even if Reen has done a good job of memorizing my description of Ramuh, it will likely make little difference to how he manifests. After all, it's your memories that shape the summoning, not hers. Alright. We gotta speak with Y'shtola. So, the full report, warts and all. Oh, I remember what this one is. Yeah. Oh, we can't teleport from here. Let's go back to old Charlian now. Oops, that's not what I meant. So the Archeon is where we're going to go. Hang on. I was gonna call my daughter because I think I know what the next quest is. And she absolutely loves frogs. I think we have to go to the cave and go down, if I remember right. I wish they had an etherite on the lower level there. Ether cup. Oh, there it is. Compass detects a current, like, how far away? 1,279 yalms to the southwest. I have a feeling that's down in this area that we have not gotten to yet. So no flying for us for a while. Make sure I'm going the right way, because it's easy to get lost in these caves. $893 yalms to the southwest. Yeah, it's definitely down in that area. Just sent my daughter a text. The nice thing about being over-leveled for the areas, I don't have to worry about fighting stray monsters running around. They have them all there for when you first encounter this. If this is an expansion newly released, these monsters obviously are good ways to level up, and they add some variety to the area, Now, I don't recall. I mean, I've only done this one once. And it's been a little while. Kyle says, I can still hear it. Elisa says, we've fallen too far behind, and this damn mist won't help matters. Alfino says, it seems Y'shtola wishes to have a word with us. Hold a moment, I have an idea. If memory serves... If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is Logisticon Beta, one of Labyrinthos' climate-controlled centers. It should have its own lifts, with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. If I were an agent of the Forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Aaronville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. Alfino says, if only Graha and his vanish spell were here. but there are other ways of turning invisible. Hippity hop, my little toads. Goodness. We've been turned into toads. Unaccustomed to transfiguration? Worry not, it will wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Aaronville. Should you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantments. And what am I to do in the meantime, says Kryle. Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn of anything of note. Kryle's going, aww. Which reminds me, where the creatures hereabouts, in that form, you are essentially defenseless. Your next quest objective requires transformations. Learn about the quest objective via the icon in the duty list. What transformation entails, certain duties require you to transform into creatures or other people, restricting available actions. These transformations will last only a limited time, indicating by the transfiguration status effect. We got 29 minutes there. Should the transfiguration status effect expire or you stray too far from the objective, you'll be returned to your original form. You may return to the starting location at any time to refresh the duration of the transfiguration status. If it has already expired, it will be granted anew. Alright, we're just gonna go hopping along here. This is my cat. Oh, we have to talk to them first. Alize says, ribbit, ribbit. Ribbit, ribbit. Ribbit! Your next quest objective requires escorting. We're just gonna go run along here. We probably don't want to go around by them. I think we got to go up here, actually. I don't know if we'll actually end up encountering enemies. But it'd be wise not to go seeking them out. Discuss your surroundings. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Alfie Toad. Alfie Toad attempts and fails to shake his head, but you nevertheless understand that he is telling you this is the wrong way. Discuss your surroundings. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Alley Toad turns to face the north. Perhaps she is suggesting you cross the bridge. Hey. Alright, so we gotta go up that way. Like, you know, why did they put that conversation circle down there? I don't know. Just gonna kind of give them a wide berth. Aha.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work.
The Labyrinthos legislator.
So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Charlian scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Charlian was charged with a momentous duty.
Notice he had to think about what he had to say there.
And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
True, I mean, if they're exhausted, they need to be taken care of.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
Aaronville's.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full.
Phil knows exactly what's going on there.
While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
Good question.
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
Nice. Our toad performance needs work, apparently. I'll have to pay more attention the next time I see one. Alfino says, I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle, this momentous duty the Forum agent mentioned. Charlian has been called to action, and Talafaroy's declaration was the catalyst. Whatever change it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid. If we happen to cross paths with Aaronville again, I should like to thank him properly. Alize is staring off in the direction Aaronville departed, a thoughtful look on her face. What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the Gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Y'shtola and Kryl for the moment, see what they think of this. Ah, 1184 elms to the south, so. Completely out of where we can get to. Okay, let's go back to Ishtola. They were up top, or were they not? Oh, there they are. I was about ready to go the wrong way. Oh, where'd Cryo go? It's funny how normal the forest seems now. As a toad, it was all so much more ominous and threatening. Well, yeah, when, you know, something's gonna eat your face, yeah, it's a little more scary. Where's Cryo? Good question, Elf. You know, I had that one too. Still says, welcome back. I trust you found Aaronville then? Yeah, and he recognized our toad magic for what it was. Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Cryo, then discuss how we'd like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm, she's still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she decided to wander. Ooh, we got a green quest there, too. I know she was around here somewhere, I just forgot where. Alright, let's go pick up the green quest, though. Or blue quest. Why did I say green quest? I don't know. Blue quest. If anybody's feeling like making some tomato sauce tonight, we got a few stray tomatoes and onions here. Distracted archivist. She seems troubled. Oh, dearie me. My sweetest shaggles, one of the Archeon's precious samples has fled. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? My apologies, I'm Nwali Tia, an archivist. The Archeon is home to various samples collected from all over the star, and one such specimen has just escaped. A young troll, to be specific. Oh, I hope he hasn't been set upon by the local predators. Listen, I promised to compensate you, so could you please help me retrieve the specimen? Yep. My thanks. I will continue my search of this area. I'd like you to check the 33rd facet. Once you've had a comprehensive look about, please meet me at the Archeon to report your findings. You know what? I'm gonna go talk to... Gonna go try and find Cryo first. My god, I can't talk. I'm gonna find where those flowers were, because I forgot. Even though I passed right by them. See if we can see... I know they were up somewhere. we're not gonna find him that way. Seeing as we're going out of this circle. Alright, let's go back on down this way. I don't recall it being over by these tomatoes and onions. No Catmobile. No Catmobile. That would require spending money on the Mog station. Alright, I can't remember where these things are. Oh, we got a vista up there, but I don't think we can get to it until we have flying. I seem to remember it was over by these wasps. I am gonna have so much video I'm gonna have to cut out for the VOD. Just traveling around here. At least it's a pretty area to travel, you know? I cannot remember where these flowers are. Oh, there's Cryle. There she is. I knew it was by the bees. Wasp, whatever the hell they're called. What are they called? Pifredo. Probably some Latin or Greek term.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Oh.
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower, walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress.
You can't be serious! We've done nothing wrong!
Uh-oh.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian. A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion.
Is he's trying to give his kids answers, but he is not able to. And it comes across as him being an SOB, frankly. And to be fair, he's not the most diplomatic of guys in certain situations.
And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
Disruptive foreign elements. I wonder if he's playing some of this in part for the other foreign members in his group there.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Oh.
Grah! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse.
He's not warning them, he's actually trying to give them advice. Oh, it comes across as a warning.
But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Oh. Our kitty is back, I see.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
Oh, there's a little smile there.
Forum will come to order.
I don't know if you caught that or not because it was so subtle. They do a good job of using facial expressions to convey a lot of meaning. And if you're not watching carefully, it's easy to miss. There's a happy kitty. Happy kitty. All right. She likes her scritches.
This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances. and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Ooh.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd.
You know, 100 years as the Exarch will give you a lot of experience.
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene.
Follow the money. The money will often tell you what's happening. Where the money flows is where the information and power flows.
But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Something was choking him back there.
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuno, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the Studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given?
He knows them all too well.
No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order! Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldesion are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand. I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed.
Well, that was close, actually. Moncheshen has a lot of influence, apparently.
Students, scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
So bear in mind, Alize and Alfino are still Fortunal's children. And as stern as he is, they're still his children. And I think he actually cares for him and wants to protect him. He's just doing it in a way that they can't see, but he's also being a jerk about it, so let's be honest about that, too. For all his diplomacy, he's being a little too harsh, I think. Raha says, I apologize for the trouble I've caused you. I was pondering the significance of what I had just read as I left the restricted section, and knocked over the security mammoth on my way out. Promise to be more vigilant next time. Ryle says, you may encounter some raised eyebrows, but do continue to claim the students as your sponsor whensoever the need arises. I believe in the guiding principles of the Scions, and I know my grandfather would have as well. Alfino says, my father may be right, and I am still groping in the dark for answers, but I needed him to know that I would never stop searching. I owed that much to Armvald and myself. Alice says, thank the gods for Scholar Monteshen. I absolutely loathe arguing in circles. She told us as well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the Ethereal Sea. With our freedoms so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Charlian. Does she have anything else for us? We shall have to think very carefully about how we are to proceed from here. Rahas. You don't have anything new to say, so. Alice has a look of dissatisfaction. The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival, come what may. Is Father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family? Survival includes you, Alize. Alfino, Alize, it is you. When I heard you'd been dragged before the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I'm so very glad they allowed you to stay. Mother? Améliance Leveilleur at your service. And you fine people must be the scions of the Seventh Dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Cav's going, what? What? I don't know what to think about this. Alfino says, Mother, please. We don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches Father that you were here. Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastened, or am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I am well aware that you and Master Fortunal are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. Shola says, the timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and reconsider our options. Go, visit your home. We will be back at the Annex when you are ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure we... Gav, what do you think? Gav? The Gav Tia? What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist that you join us. And Gav's going, what? Really? He's not sure what to think of this. Oh, but we must be quick about it, not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Gav, if you'd be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. Elise says, and then she was gone, and with her any opportunity to protest. Indeed, the matter is settled, said Kryle. Enjoy yourselves, you three. Ah, so they have at least two in their corner now. Améliance and Monteshane. And he says, I'm sure Alpino thinks nothing of it. He invited classmates over all the time, but I wasn't the most... It was a different time for me, all right? I apologize. My mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I am glad, relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say you, Gav? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us on our visit home? All right, we have to escort them. Talk. Let us give Elise a push, then, and be on our way. Fine, if we're going, then let's get it over with, but be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers. Thank you very much. Who knows this? Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you couldn't bring yourself to throw away. Childhood toys. I mean, never mind. The Levailleur escape is that way, straight down the stairs. Come on. Does she have anything else for us? The Levailleur estate is in the northern part of Journey's End, just down the stairs from the rostra. Oh, and please don't make a fuss when we get there. It's only a house. See if we'll have some conversation points along the way there. I mean, we could teleport over there, but we'd have to come back for the conversation points anyway. Discuss the view from the bridge. When Alicia and I were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, but my mother or a servant was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And now look at us, traveling to different continents, different worlds even. As children, Alfino and I would often wait here for our father to come home from work. It must have been a day when his meetings ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at that exact moment, came pounding down the path in a panic, crying out my name. Oh. That is a father for you. And that should tell you more about Fortunal. Journey's End, occupying the eastern side of Old Charlian, the residential district, takes its name from the tale of the city's original settlers. History tells us that it is upon this hill, alongside a colony of Ox, where the refugees of the Great Flood chose to build their new homes. Fino, discuss Ox Landing. Oh, yes, this is where I first practiced magic on an actual person. Alize had fallen, you see, and scraped her knee quite badly, so I tried casting the simple restorative spell I had only just learned. How she smiled when the wound closed. The joy and relief. That was, I believe, the very moment I chose the healing arts as the main subject of my studies. We used to come here all the time with grandfather. In summer, I would dip my hands and feet in the fountain and splash about. Not Alfino, though. Even back then, he wasn't very fond of playing in water. He'd make any excuse to avoid it. Which would explain how I came to swim like an auk and he sink like a stone. Nice. Les Amélians. And here you are at last. Please do come in. Right? The house is huge.
Welcome home, my lady.
Gav's like blown away. Oh, whoa.
What? What are you gawping at?
House Levailleur in all its grandeur. Scion headquarters must seem squalid indeed, or just admiring the craftsmanship. I think he would say this.
I'll have you know I'm quite fond of the Rising Stones.
Lord Fourcheneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
So we know who has the real
Lost
power in the
Alpha,
house.
no, Mistress Alice, if you'd accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations. Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
Gav's going, whoa, really?
'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
I would love to have that carpet in my house. That's a gorgeous carpet.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphinaud.
Please tell me you didn't dress us like twins.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
If you would allow me, Master Alphino.
Wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry. I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortunato has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Sometimes it's better to seek forgiveness than ask permission, right? If Alphino doesn't know Greek, he'll soon master it, I'm sure, as brilliant as he is.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Those are wise words from a mother. Yeah. Elise. And that was that. Only the gods know when we'll be back again. Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Which is good, because I don't think Yav would reveal it. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, it will have to suffice, as will these tokens of home that we carry with us, these gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality, let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions. So, yeah, they got their looks from her, and they got the blue eyes from their father. They get a lot of their looks from her, too. It's an important point to note. The Amélion says everything changed and he became even more serious once they were born. So obviously his work became even more important to him once he had children to protect. And there are a lot of things when you're a parent. Your entire worldview changes when you have children, right? Because suddenly you're not responsible just for yourself, you're responsible for these lives. And, you know, most parents would do anything to protect their kids. She showed me her baby pic. You both were adorable. I am going to put image that I found on Twitter. Somebody did a drawing of Fortunal and Amélions holding the twins as babies. It's really cute. All right, Urianger says, Vritra and his alchemists have prepared us for our foray into the tower. Now, what we may accomplish within its twisted halls remaineth to be seen. Okay, Vritra, you remember the dragon, and his alchemists have prepared us for our trip to the tower, and what we may do within its twisted halls remains to be seen. At Arkasodara languish in Telaphroi chains, doth forewarn us of the nature of our foe. 'Tis the gods of Thavnir who will be summoned to thwart us. Alright, because the Arkasodara languish in Telaphroi chains, it warns us of our foe's nature, and it's the Thavnirian gods who will be summoned to fight us. Justinian says, the conflict between Nidhogg and I is in the past, and though they were brothers, it has no bearing on my views of Vritra. Above all else, he is a leader of men, not an enemy. He would hardly dedicate his life to this endeavor if he bore our kind any ill will. Thinker says, I returned by way of Kite's experimental aetheryte, yet I must say it was far less taxing than our first attempt, and apparently we need only ask if we wish to use it again. Now, I'm not terribly eager to repeat the experience, but if you're willing to test your ethereal fortitude for the sake of technological advancement, then who am I to stop you? Elise says, don't think for a moment that I'm jealous of Alfino's new weapons. They're far more suited to him than me. We left for Eorzean matching outfits, but our styles, both fashion and fighting, have long since diverged. If anything, I'm proud of the differences between us. Yeah, you remember it from the very opening cutscene where you're riding in the carriage. You see the twins and their outfits match. If I intend to master these sages' armaments, that will mean learning to imbue them with the same ether that I poured into Moonstone and Obsidian. It is difficult to grasp the essence of such an entity. For me, it will help to think of the new liths as allies in battle, simply a new form of the energy with which went into manifesting my carbon companions. For us to feel responsible for the schism of House Levailleur would be pure hubris. After all, we are merely on the outskirt of what is, essentially, a family affair. And yet neither can we claim the indifference of strangers. To hear their mother welcome them so warmly was a joy and a relief. Amélion is nothing if not her own person. As curious as I am to learn the truth of this duty, I wonder what else the Forum is hiding. A calamitous secret whose origin lies in the ethereal sea. Duplicity aside, however, I do not believe Master Fortunal means us ill. Even the harsh words he had for his children stemmed not from anger, I think, but desperation. Yes. Yes. Fortunal understands that the final days means the final days for his children. Enjoyed your time with the Leviers, I hope. I would ask how the twins fared, but their new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret the Forum strives to hide, and the flower bequeathed to you by Heidelin is sure to guide us going forward. I'm confident that once we've heard your report from Thavnir, we'll be well equipped to plot out our next move. Okay. We're gonna pick this up. In the dark of the tower, Cryo glances at you with expectant eyes. Since there has been progress in both investigations, shall we share the findings from our respective locales?
Your time in Thavnir has certainly been eventful. In my opinion, carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
I agree. While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but exhausted our avenues of investigation. Simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest we explore the ethereal sea connection by way of a letter to Master Matoya, then make our way to Thavnir.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what can we hope to achieve once inside the tower? According to Orenvold and Frodola's report, they were unable to free the Emulger. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna Afrit.
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses? Simply pulling a prisoner from the wall is fatal, thus the direct approach is doomed to failure from the outset. Any further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary. Unless, of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them. Then it stands to reason that any intruders will be met with overwhelming force.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means these structures were raised, I surmise.
So they appeared in a blink of an eye and by magical means. So it was magic that brought these towers into being, I guess.
A spire thus conjured must needs be maintained. And I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth lie hidden within.
So a magic tower has to be maintained, and it has to have some kind of magical catalyst or core.
Destroy the core, and the tower ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
So we can hope, and I would prefer to enter the tower with a working theory than with no plan at all.
Assuming Ishtola's reasoning is correct, the chances of the defenses remaining dormant are small to none. Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Kryl, Yostola, and myself. The remaining scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Arcosodra by a considerable margin.
You sure Alpino's in the right group? What did Valley say? She knows a healing spell or two.
That she does. But I think Alize herself would assert that she's at her best when she's charging onto the breach. And from what I recall from the Grand Cosmos, there's a spring in her step when she fights by your side.
Ye gods, will you never let me hear the end of that? Rest assured that I will do what is asked of me, regardless of who I happen to be standing next to at any given time.
It seems we have a plan. All that remains is to carry it out. I will inform Rads at Han of our movements, so let us make our preparations and regroup near the tower.
The military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging point.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental aetherite at the confluence is there for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
Let's do it. They're miners, Dad. Yeah, right? All right. It is late, and I usually cut off around 5:30, but it just like time flew by, and I just can't believe how fast an hour went. All right, here's our cat joke for today, because we always have to have a cat joke on MamaCatGamer. What's the Cheshire Cat's favorite drink? Evaporated milk. Yeah, evaporated milk. I know, that's a bit of a reach for that one. Alright, cats and kittens, I just finished the Ulda starter video. That takes you from the very beginning of your entry into the game, up through about level 8-ish, where you do your first solo duty. So, and I've finished the first 3 city-states, where you start and kind of run around the city and do your first forays out into the outer world. I'm going to be working on parts 2 and 3. Part 2 will take you roughly around your first solo duty through about level 10 to 12-ish, and then part 3 will take you level 10 to 12-ish through Sastasha, the first dungeon. So that's the game plan on those, and I'll still be working on other videos as we go along. Friday night, I don't know if we're going to have anything going on Friday night or not. If they do the Ultimate with Shinryu, I might stream that. And I'll definitely be back on Saturday. I'm signed up for more of the NUO Extreme. We're getting closer. Getting closer. Closer. We made it a lot farther this time. Still got a lot to clean up though, but there's so much to learn. It's crazy. Anyway, cats and kittens, it's time for me to go make dinner with the rest of the cat crew family. So I will see you soon. MamaCatGamer signing out.